Let's take a look at VChain. Alright, we're looking at the daily chart, and the date I have is to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January the 20th. After reaching an all-time high of 27 cents around the middle of April of last year. Since then, VChain has been in this pullback for a long time, very much underperformed most of the altcoins during this period of time, and it's been trending down. Finally today we see VChain is actually trending up. Currently it's up about 4% and trading at 7.3. So it's been a disappointment, but VChain is definitely a great project. It was designed to solve the problem with supply chain management, and supply chain management is one of, I would say, the biggest problem facing so many companies right now. So there's no doubt in my mind that VChain definitely will have a very bright future, and it's just a matter of time before we see another major bull run that could eventually take the price to way over the all-time high at 27 cents. VChain broke out consolidations around November of 2020. At that time, it was trading at about 1 penny. Went on this massive bull run, ran all the way to almost 28 cents, and we're looking at almost 15 times the gain. After this major bull run, we had this pullback, which is expected. Now the price dropped all the way down to about 5.6 cents, which is roughly a little bit more than the normal 78.6% retracement from the high. But right after that, the price bounced up. So there is a very high probability that at 5.6 cents, that is definitely the bottom as part of the pullback after this major bull run. Then the price bounced up. But the problem was that it was trending up on low volume. And when you have a run up on low volume, it's really hard to sustain this upward momentum. After that, we saw this pullback, bounce up, pull back again, then the flash crash. VChain dropped all the way down to about 7 cents. But at 7 cents, it's still higher than this prior low. And then after that, VChain actually retraced and retested the 7 cents again. First time, the second time happened yesterday. But immediately, buyers step in, and now we see the price is bouncing up. Also at 7 cents, it is also find support at the 600 days moving average. So as long as Bitcoin stabilizes, I am expecting VChain to stabilize and slowly trending higher. Another indicators, even though right now it is looking bearish, which is the moving averages. After this continued downward pressure, the 50 days is trending down. The same with the 10 days. But right now, the gap between the two is actually very close. So all we need is for VChain to stabilize. This would allow the 10 days to reverse direction. And very soon, it would cross over and then lead the 50 days again. And that would be the first major bullish signal that I'm looking for. Now, let's see how VChain would likely perform within the next 24-48 hours. We're looking at the 4-hour chart for VChain. VChain was forming this higher low and lower low. So essentially what happened is it was forming this falling wedge. And with a falling wedge, the expectation is eventually at some point, whether around here or even once it reached the apex, which is at around 6.2 cents, we would expect it to break out to the upside. And the technical target should take it up to the point or near the point where the falling wedge started, which is around 10.2 cents. But given the fact that right now we are already seeing VChain find very strong support at around 7 cents, I don't expect to see the price break down below this line. So this is what I think would likely happen. VChain would continue this uptrend, run up, and the minute it hit around 7.8 cents, which is where the 10 days moving average is, if it can cross over that, then there's a very high probability that it will break out of this falling wedge. And the next major resistance would be at 8.5 cents. That is where the 50 days moving average is. If VChain can cross over this and stabilize over this, that would be a very bullish signal. Then eventually we would expect VChain to run up to this target price of 10.2 cents. Now, in the event, if it gets rejected either at the 10 days moving average or at the 50 days moving average, I would expect to see a pullback where it could potentially retrade and retest the 7 cents again. And at 7 cents, I do expect buying support. Price would bounce up, break out again, and then continue to move through this uptrend. Go back to the daily chart. Vechain has been trending down for such a long time. But I believe that things are beginning to look up. The key is for it to cross over the 10 days moving average as around the 7.8 cents and then work toward cross over the 50 days and stabilize over that. Then we are looking at Vechain running up to 10.2 cents and eventually beginning of a new bull run. Vechain is a great project at the price where it is right now, which is less than 8 pennies. Definitely a bargain. The downside is very minimal. The worst case would be for it to retest this prior low at 5.6 cents. But the upside potential is huge. Vechain is still one of my favorite crypto, and I am continuing to accumulate Vechain until a price reach a max of 8 pennies. I expect Vechain to do very well in 2022 and establish another all-time high. That's it for this video, and don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at VidMaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.